This clip will cover slot templates within WellSeeker Pro. So slot templates are input at facility level, and they allow a user to input multiple different wellheads in a pattern for a particular pad. The first question you should ask yourself is, do I need to put a slot template in, or will it be easier to input them as wellhead by wellhead? In instances where you have, for example, a known dimensioned slot layout, like in a subsea wellhead system, or you already have a pre-existing well site layout and you have exact dimensions between them, then a slot template is a good way of doing it. If, however, you have wells that are going to be spudded and the wellhead locations located one by one, then you're probably better off not worrying and bothering with a slot template. So, in order to input a slot template, open up new facility properties, and within there you'll find this button Templates. Select that and it will open up the template editor. First thing you have to do is create a new template. Then name it what you will, and if you want a prefix to the name of the slots themselves, then input that here. So new well. You can input a single slot location based on these coordinates here, or you can, what the function's mainly for is inputting a pattern of wellheads. So in this case I'm selecting circle. The number of slots I'm going to say is 10 in a radius formation of 50 meters, and you can see here that the slots, there are 10 of them, and they've been put at 50-meter radius from the center point. We can change the rotation incrementally by adjusting the rotation in degrees. You can also change the template center relative to the facility. The same applies for a rectangle. So if you create a slot template using rectangles, I would say 5 rows, 2 columns. I'm going to have a 10-meter spacing between on my x-axis and a 20-meter spacing on my y-axis. And you can see here that our slot number 1 is centered on 0, 0 up here. So that would actually be not the center of the pad, for example. So you can change these coordinates so that on the x-axis it would be, the top left one would be at -5 and the y one would be at 20. And you can see here, would it be at 20? No, it would be at 40. And you can see here that now the template is centered 0, 0 in the middle of the slot layout. Again, you can change the rotation here as you need it to. If you click this button here, display slot names, it will show you the slot name layout. In this case, it is slot numbered by row, so 1, 2, 3, 4. You can change that to numbered by column, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, if I get rid of the prefix, you can see here that the numbers are just numbers, there's no prefix to them. Okay, once you're happy with your slot layout, you can apply, and now we've got a template that has been saved. Equally, what you can do, if you do have a slot layout that isn't perfectly spaced by these 10 and 20 meters or equivalent, you can select convert to single slot, but beware that this is not a reversible process, so you'd have to create the template from scratch again. Selecting this option allows you then to make small adjustments to the positions of the various different slots. So as you can see here, I'm adjusting slot 1 and it is moved out from the pattern. So once you've established a grid line pattern, then you can make small adjustments. If I hit apply, that saves my template. And then within facility, I've got this test selected as my template. Hit apply. Now, where this becomes useful is when I go to well level and I have to input a wellhead coordinate for my well. Normally you would input either geographic map or offset from facility coordinates, but in this case I can now select slot and select from the slots I've just created, and that will automatically update the coordinates based upon my slot template that I've already created. That completes the quick introduction to slot templates within WellSeeker Pro.